Something of the infused variety.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm down.
Put a little zest in your pickup.
I'm down.
Because that's who this is by.
We'll let the dogs out. I'm afraid that I'm not big on smoking around the dogs.
Oh, there's that too.
And then, yeah, not big on smoking around the dogs. And then I'm just, if someone comes, they'll bark. And
it's not necessary to hot dog box the dogs.
No, we're not gonna hot dog bongs.
Hot dog bongs.
Yeah.
Hot dogs the bongs.
Oh man, it's good to see you, bro.
Yeah,
We sit so close to each other because of these pillows. I don't want to sit close to you.
It feels like a situation where you have the type of wife that has all of the pillows on the bed, and you have to it's a half an hour procedure just to be able to go to sleep.
Yeah. I don't do it with any pillows. One pillow is good for me because I find you end up like taco in your back sleeping on all these pillows, and I deal with sore back as it is. So yeah, no dice for me. So what's this?
So Zest cannabis. This is an infused banana runts, live resin, and shatter infused pre-roll. Apparently supposed to be, 35%?
35.
40, sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
Is that still a 5-pack? They're I've got some from this brand, some of their carts at the shop, and they're like a diamond, and some are like diamond and live resin mix ones, but they're really neat. They're quite a change. It was my first exposure to diamonds was just through the cart, and they're quite a change in like the high from a distillate.
Right.
Like it just. Distillates, like you always associate with that like short but very quick high.
Yeah.
But with the diamond ones, it's just like you're like, doof, okay,
yeah,
and then it's done.
Yeah, I can taste the concentrate in that.
Yeah, I mean the live resin, it's got to have some.
Yeah,
they're a little heavy, but effective.
My eyes okay. I remember when I was young, I used to hang out with a guy. I can't remember his name. Scott. I don't know, Steve or something. And he used to pass me the joint. I would. And he would pass it back. He said, enjoy it. Actually take some oots out of that thing, man. I was like, oh? He's like, yeah, take like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Take 2 or 3 and then pass it back to me. I was like, oh. So ever since I was a kid, that's when that stopped. I quit having one. I would have a couple and then pass it off. I guess unless you're in like a group.
You're being greedy or something.
I haven't smoked a joint.
I hold on to them for too long, and I'm talking.
Oh yeah.
Me and my wife will be like lying, telling a story and smoking it, and she's waiting for her turn.
Yep, that's the same with me. That's why nobody passes me any weed. Because I talk too much. Yeah, and then it becomes a microphone.
Right.
Yeah. We're like, I ain't gonna give it to you anymore. Don't pass it to him. It just talks too much.
Yeah.
But I take it as an opportunity while I've got everyone's attention. Because now they're all staring at me, right? It's just like, well, now that I've got your attention.
Because you're either waiting for the drugs or you're paying attention. Either way, you're looking at me. So I'm happy about it. We had me and my wife. We smoked one of these. Actually, one of the other ones that I brought. And I just got home from work, lit this thing. We're just sitting around talking, catching up for the night. And she goes and takes her first draw and not realizing it's an infused pre-roll. And she's like, you could have warned me. And I was like, it's not like you weren't going to smoke it. She's like, I know, but I maybe wouldn't have taken a big haul. But we were laughing because that was a good friend of ours, she doesn't generally partake very heavily.
Right.
She's a very light user. And she'd come to my place for like a birthday dinner, and we pulled out for the other 3 of us to smoke this infused pre-roll.
Right.
and it is like a diamond infused with a pretty good percentage sativa on top of it. And she's just like, that's my birthday, so I'm gonna participate. And she just like grabbed it and puffed on it. To be fair, her boyfriend definitely had the opportunity to tell her what it was.
Right.
And he just kind of like watched as she like took multiple draws and then passed it off.
Yeah.
And then that was the last time we heard her talk until about 45 minutes before bedtime. Because she basically existed while we all did everything.
Just a body.
Yeah, it was so funny. It just like totally ruined her birthday. But like it was funny for the rest of us. But
Yeah, it reminds me of a wedding I went to actually, where the bride, what was it? Ecstasy? Was it ecstasy? I don't remember what it was. Or LSD.
MDMA.
Yep.
Yeah.
And yeah, she took a little too much. Or even just, to be frank, any on your wedding day when you're the center of attention and it's not.
And that's where the issue was.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's like, it's one thing to just do it, but then it's your wedding day. You're the bride.
Yeah.
And everyone's coming to see you and you're tripping balls and.
Yeah.
That was hilarious. Yeah.
Again, funny for us.
Yeah, memorable
us.
too.
Yeah.
Very memorable. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember too when we went to Vegas. I think I shared this one with you. And when we got to the Dab Bar by Dr. Dabber, and Rob, Chris, and I, we hit the Dab Bar, and the bud tender, I guess, or the dab tender, he loaded up a rip for Rob and Chris. They took theirs. They were fucked. They were done for the rest of the night. Rob eventually pulled through and he recovered, but Chris was done. He had been done. And yeah, it can just hit a little hard, particularly if you're not doing dabs very often.
Right.
Because I always, that's why it's big for me when when people come over to my place, I have to have an array of items because I've got friends that enjoy smaller amounts. I've got friends that can enjoy larger amounts. I've got friends that just want to have a little bit consistently.
It's not, and you know what? That's not even the issue anymore. It's actually to a point of like with Birthday Girl story, for instance, of like having things like a 1-to-1.
Right.
Just like some like we're talking 7.5% or something
on both sides.
Yeah. Those type of things that because there are that whole demographic having edibles around or some capsules and oil, something, some alternative.
Right. Yeah, that's a good idea too. Yeah, even a 1-to-1, or even if I had some CBD strains.
Yeah, even if it's straight up CBDs, exactly.
The
like
flower would never last around here, and not because I'd smoke it, but because I don't smoke it. It's CBD.
And when it's just a guest only thing, yeah, those are the type of things where I like, instead of addressing that with having a flower available, unless I'm accommodating somebody that I know we've invited over for, and that's their thing.
Yep.
I think like the edible. Whatever, like I'd rather go. I know this person's coming, and go pick them up a pack of gummies,
right? Yeah.
Or some chocolates or something. Like, get your treat for the night. This is something you'll like, right?
Dig in. Yeah. You'll
and
like
I'm going to, I'm with that person. I'm literally trying to be conscious of that and like, going forward, like that gets accommodated.
It's being accommodated.
Yeah.
I also have friends that are vegetarians, and you know, in a lot of cases, they actually they'll bring their own stuff because they know that they don't expect other people to accommodate. But if you're a friend of mine, I'm going to go and try to make sure that we can, make sure you're comfortable.
See, that's where being on the other side's easier. As a meatitarian, there's always going to be some meat, and I can just not eat the other stuff. So I'm like, that's very happy. This is a good place for me. Thank you for providing for me. Yeah, like cheese in a bun. It's a great burger.
That's the same thing when it comes to weed, too. I'm not very picky.
Yeah.
So it's
do you have it? Yes. Excellent. I would love to try it. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. I'm not very picky. I have gotten more pickier as time's gone on, and I grow my own, and I have a larger and larger supply. And
I generally we're accommodated because we have it on us, so it doesn't.
Yeah. Right. I'm not looking for it.
Yeah. I don't leave my house a lot. There's also that.
That helps a lot too. I leave my house to go to America. Pretty much, or your house.
Yeah,
that's it.
That's like
that's it.
Yeah, I love to do these things. That's it. Kid with hockey.
God, but it's nice. But weed brings us together. That's pretty sweet. I've traveled the continent because of it. I come to your place so often, and think of all the networks you've made too. selling, doing your thing. It's
Yeah.
pretty crazy to think the resources or outlets or opportunities and things that are out there surrounding our.
Yeah, it is an incredibly difficult industry. Like what the turmoil in things like growers is insane, and how much change there is there. Like it is, as you see things and how they're operating and the change that's happening within these companies, them going up, going down, pivoting, all this stuff. You realize that you can't build a menu based off of a company being here to solve your problems all the time. And even with what they can provide, because very few companies, because this is agriculture, especially on the flower side of things, right?
Right.
And being able to produce incredible quality consistently and in a quantity that keeps them busy, and they're able to just like, it's just there and available all the time, right? Like I think some edible companies are kind of getting there, where there's just really always a flow, they're always available, and as they should be. It's concentrate, and there's all reports are being told of how much of this stuff is just sitting around and it's being purchased for pennies on the dollar.
I heard that there was like 300,000 metric tons of waste.
Jeez.
Yeah, and I'm curious if that's all like wait, like is it all mold? Is it all, or did it not meet specs? Is it under a certain percentage?
It could be not meet specs. So it could be the fact that like there's this super old product,
right?
And like that could be facilities closing down. That could be,
and all that product goes with them, eh?
Yeah. Yeah. They either sell it or they don't, and then it gets destroyed.
Oh God.
If there's all that product that's sitting around, it's not being sold, so inevitably it has to be destroyed.
How do I get into the destroying business?
Yeah.
I will destroy that for you.
Yeah, through a series of small fires.
I'm curious how you do that. Of course, like mold and pesticides and stuff like that. I don't want to get that.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a percentage, but I honestly think that a larger percentage of it is most likely business decision stuff, because the product's useless.
Right. Huh.
Or defunct companies, because it happens so often.
Do they just burn it?
Incinerate it.
Yeah. Huh. I wonder if like there's people close by, or are they in hazmat suits, or they're probably, hey?
Yeah.
Or there's a big oven.
Well, like I think, there's like a bunch of methods too. Like for instance, if we have to destroy a product, I have to like grind it up and mix it in with kitty litter.
Oh, really? That's a thing?
Yeah. Yeah, because we can't, if we have to destroy the product for whatever reason, we can't have it being thrown in the garbage and then consumed from somebody looking through the trash or whatever.
And they don't think someone will smoke kitty litter?
Yeah, I guess not.
I guess not.
Like, and also the kitty litter like really messes with ground up weed, with weed in general. But.
Right. But people smoke a lot of crazy things. People chew duct tape, for crying out loud.
Yeah, like
we don't recommend
Tide Pods, all that stuff.
Yeah, so, the Tide Pods.
Yeah, it's just they have to have some measure where they're like, we took steps.
Yeah, we did steps. Look what we did. It's theater, right? Yeah, it's theater.
Huh. So, but.
Wonder, I know with our buses, we just ship them to Mexico. So I'm curious if all this weed, do they actually disintegrate or do they ship it off to somewhere else?
But the thing is that legally, in federal levels, there's still not a ton of places you can be doing that.
Right.
But you can ship buses everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere can use transportation.
Everywhere needs to get around. Yep.
Right. But that's like a lot of what the big companies were built on. It was like, well, the U.S. is going to federalize it, and everybody's going to federalize it.
Right.
And then it's going to be this like, we're going to be able to export it because we're going to be ahead of the ball game. And people are, like with Australia now, we're seeing a lot of that. Like a Winnipeg boy, one of the guys from Pistol in Paris, they shipped a ton of weed to Australia, I saw. And
okay.
So like,
yeah, I know New
exporting
Zealand's crunching down.
yeah, like exporting's happening, but right, like it's not. This isn't a ubiquitous thing that's marching forward everywhere. In fact,
No.
some places it's going
We're
the other
backwards.
way.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Um,
It looks like in New Zealand it is going to go backwards. The guys from from High Times, or no, sorry, the guys from High Rise TV, awesome dudes. Partied with them in LA. They did a. Oh, I totally just blanked what we were talking about. What were we talking about? That's some good. That was a good joint. That was really good.
it did its job.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty high. Yeah,
Good.
pretty high.
Good.
Mhm.
Oh, I have other treats. That one's not even the one I thought was gonna trip you up. So
No, it was okay. No, that
that's
was
good.
good. It was good. I can't wait for the other ones.
Mhm.
From High Rise, they did something. What did we do? What were we just saying? You don't remember either? In the comment section, they were like, nah!
And it was gonna be a great story.
It was good.
There could be like,
It was
there's an
good. It was
opportunity here
solving
to like
world
look
peace.
back on the tape, but I think that's too much work. Like,
Yeah,
you just-
right? Yeah. Oh, well. That's classics. Do you get that a lot when you smoke weed? I do. I forget shit all the time, bro. I have
Well,
to write everything down.
you start. I think what the problem is there's that thing where I am not paying attention all the time, and I think that it gets amplified when I get real high.
Yeah. Distraction.
Yeah, the
I-
concentrate.
I get
high.
distracted a lot.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden I'm like, ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy. Yeah.
Oh, let's go high again.
Yeah. Exactly.
That happens a lot,
Hey,
yeah.
continue.
Oh yeah, New Zealand. That's what it was. New Zealand was going
good for you.
backwards. Yep, not bad. Hey, I went through the tape in my head,
Yeah.
and the High Rise guys went down there and they documented how like open and legal and like accessible flower was down there, and it was incredible. I was like, I was kind of jealous at the system that they have down there because everything is just weed everywhere, and it was like just you walk down the street and you could sample, you could buy, you could check out the variety, and there was it was the advertising was in your face. It was just like it was like the mecca.
It was that utopia concept.
Yeah. And I hear like just like last week or earlier this week, New Zealand, the new president or whatever is looking to just repeal it. Doesn't want to. He wants to make it decriminalized again or something. I can't remember what it was, but it's backwards, whatever it is. So yeah, it is unfortunate that we can't. Well, and look at us. We can't even grow recreational in our own country or in our own province.
Right. Yeah, that didn't even end up applying ubiquitously. But it's funny how that's where the line got drawn here. It wasn't the retail side of it. Like they're willing to let that happen because they can monetize that one really easy.
course.
But
Yeah,
which is also silly too, because all you do is you put the sale of seeds and clones through retail stores, which is what's done at every other province that deals with it.
Yes.
That just means that I could now sell you clones. And I
Right.
could sell you
You
seeds.
should be able to get clones at the grocery store for crying out loud. In the same way you could buy seasonal flowers and
Yeah, exactly.
and just have the clones sitting up there ready to go.
Yeah.
$5 clone, $10 clone, whatever it is. I think $10 a clone would be pretty good, unless it was like something you're highly sought after or something. But
You would think that would be an under $20 per thing.
Yeah. more exotic it is, or whatever,
Yeah.
the more desirable. Obviously, slightly more money, and that's not to say that you wouldn't find a clone that's $100 or something, on a limited cut or something.
Yeah, because there's going to be a lot of that stuff that'll get to happen, right? And I think things like that would be fun to play with on the retail side is like getting the retail or the local growers that we have in Manitoba and being able to offer their weed is fun, but doing that on like a clone level,
Right.
because like the people that are really going to appreciate that kind of stuff realistically more often than not is going to be some guy that's into growing,
Probably.
right? And so being able to it might actually push traffic towards the actual product itself, just because they're getting to see that like their stuff's so good we even carry their clones, right? You know,
Well, that
would be-
you see that with when we see that in. We'll just turn that one off there. Oh, I just did that with my watch. You've seen that with when grow stores started blowing up everywhere, and all of a sudden, then you could find Crop King seeds in like every grow store, and it was like, it's
Weird.
Yeah, weird. Their stuff is so good that you can get their seeds now too. But it's the opposite. It's the opposite of that. They're not. I don't think. I've heard some pretty horror stories in regards to that distributor. So yeah, I put most banks under the microscope when it comes to whether or not they're actually distributing what they say they're distributing, because yeah, I've got a feeling, and I said this on my stream the other day, I've got a feeling that when it comes to genetics, I would say well over 50% of the genetics we're being sold aren't what they're listed as. So if you've got a Girl Scout cookies and a Northern Lights,
no regulation in that space, right?
No.
I mean, and that's where the positive of, I guess, like if they, like in other province, it's done. You have to go through cannabis retailers to get it. So the same places you would buy your 8s and pre-rolls and stuff.
Right.
Oh, sorry. And at least that puts a step in. Whether it's the right step, that's the big problem. You know, as we've seen with a few other of the regulations in Canada, but you know, we're also seeing that a lot of them, everything's moving in the right direction anyway. So shrug, weed's legal.
Yeah.
Hooray!
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
I get to drive out to see my buddy
and
have a bag full of a bunch of like,
weed.
I have weed for us to try.
Right?
And
cops everywhere.
Yeah.
And
I was like, oh,
Doesn't
that's not going to
matter.
be the thing. I'm like, am I speeding? No.
Right.
Well, then it doesn't matter.
There's nothing.
I'll take it.
I have the bottom of a grinder, but I didn't bring the top of a grinder.
Oh, that's going to be hard. There's a bowl there.
There's a bowl there.
Yeah.
I guess there's others. Keep us entertained. Yeah. This is some Purple God's Green Crack is what I'm smoking here.
Well,
that's what's on the tap. And what's that?
This is a thing that I've been working on, and it's coming into fruition very soon.
Oh.
Maybe by the time people see this. And at least locally, it'll matter for you.
Right.
If you're in the province of Manitoba. But we're getting our own house line. And I'm not growing it. I don't own a grow. We're working with a grower to do this. They just been these incredibly gracious guys that we're working with. Well, the gentleman himself, the owner of the company, and they're, you know, it's a white label, but he's procuring it. It was like, we talked, and I was like, this is what I'm looking for. These are the type of things I want, the kind of like dollars. I wanted it to be closer to value pricing. Like, I know we can get a hold of stuff for good prices and get it out there. So like, you're big. You can do these things. You have the ability to do this.
Yeah.
So see what you can find for me.
Good.
And he came back with this stuff, and I was.
It looks great.
I'm really, really happy with it.
And when Chris told me it was under, once you told me it was under, or your house league, your house blend.
Yeah.
I immediately put it under the microscope.
Yeah.
Pulled out this microscope. I was like, if someone's gonna sell my boy some stuff here, then I need to make sure it's the best.
And this is why I brought you the sample piece that I grabbed.
Yeah.
I was like, we should take a look at this today.
Yeah, and I liked it.
Yeah.
The smell smells nice. The bag appeal looks really good. Trichomes look fantastic. Next is to grind it up and smoke it. Huh?
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's the next test.
If you want to venture over on there, since that camera went out, it's on the corner of my desk right there.
Yeah, and that's just going to be a fun little thing. We're going to keep working on and growing it in the different sizes, starting with this like 5 gram, and keep playing with it from there. Because I think it'll be fun.
Yeah. Having a house blend, bro, that's so exciting, man.
Yeah, it's just something that we can, like, we know that we have some consistency on, and was like, some of these products are either hard to get a hold of or aren't really around for that pricing. And the company was big enough that they can, you know, he's a wizard at this. This is
his thing.
His thing, yeah.
Sweet.
And he knows kind of what he could do with, and they were pretty hard asks, and he came back and got it done. And so I'm really excited to continue on with the relationship and like keep building it out, because it's going to be fun and having all these like different options and such. And that's something I never thought I was going to have the opportunity to get involved in.
Right.
So having this ability to kind of build out this line for the shop.
That's pretty sweet.
Pretty cool. Yeah. Again, just like meeting people.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Putting connections together.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome, man. Good for you. I'm very excited. Having your own blend is kind of like it's kind of the top if you think like it's kind of like you made it.
Well, normally that's something that like, Tweed did.
Yeah,
Or whatever. They have the shops in the stores. And so
Right,
just
it's a
having
huge
it,
thing.
and it's like, we're not producing it. And so I'm at the other end of it in terms of the supply line and stuff. But it's nice to, even with the vape shop, that's what I did with E-Juice. It like took up the baseline of the menu and then you built it out from there.
Right.
But it was something that we could offer really good quality for like that moderate price.
Yeah.
And then this way it was, you kind of cover your basis. And then we had a really nice brand out of BC that was like, there's a specialty mix stuff, right?
Yep.
It's a little bit more, go from there. But it just, you can like rely on that one. And I am a narcissist and like to have my logo on everything as I'm seeing your torch with this sticker on it. Yeah. So
the cups, the torch. Yep.
yeah.
Well, you got to when we've got this and this.
Yeah.
My stuff's everywhere.
Yeah.
So it's got to. No, that's great, man. And like, man, I think it's very exciting. I've spoken in multiple times in regards to how dispensaries or the legal dealer can bring in new customers.
Mm-hmm.
And not only new customers, but maintain customers. And one of those ways I think that's very important is providing a product that people can count on. Not only is it going to do its job, but it's priced at a point where it's going to get the most amount of eyes.
Yeah. Like I think it's just like being reasonable and like not. You just want to have those like products that like this is going to be a really Canadian reference, but like Frank's a Canadian Tire. Everything's good. It's fine.
Right.
It's not the cheapest stuff, but it's also not crazy expensive. And you're like, that's going to be a good
And
thing.
you know it's going to work.
I need this cleaning supply or whatever, right? Yeah. And you're like, it's going to work. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
And,
no, I totally agree with that.
Hitting that middle point, because I just think that's like, it's always an area that's underserved because most of it's just like, it's either the cheap stuff and it's dust or, it's crazy expensive.
Yeah.
And and I get the crazy expensive stuff from the inside, knowing what the really good guys, like it's just, you really have to reserve that top end dollar for a smaller selection than what is actually out there. Because the guys that are really doing that job, fight me over it, like the Sweetgrasses of the world, the legacy guys that have transitioned and are going to be like frontiers of cannabis cultivation and everything. They are going to be around because it's the case of, they might not be the corporation, but they are so good at what they do.
Right.
And then that's going to continue to get narrower and narrower because you can't be around unless you're really good anymore.
Exactly. Yep. And that's how it should be.
Yeah.
The quality, the artist or the quality of your piece should speak for itself.
Yeah.
And not how much money you have or how well you can lobby the government or all that kind of stuff. Yeah, and that's kind of how the system is right now. But it's slowly fading out.
Yeah, that's very true.
Well, it's good. No, it's good. I'm glad to see that you're getting a house blend because
it's fun. It's taking a little time to get it together, but it's like it's gonna be something that is just neat. It'll be neat to have.
Yeah.
Even if it's not something that gets to be maintained, because I don't have a lot of control over how this is dealt with.
Right.
But it's just but like even as that is the thing, it's just going to be great. Like there's going to be this period of time that we had this,
right,
and then just being able to have this offering where it was like I got to like this stuff is what I want the logo to sit on top of. That's cool. I'll
I look forward to that day where I do look to have complete control over the process someday. Maybe not growing it myself, but definitely overseeing the grow. And then, I would love to put a name on something where it's like I can at least say that I know this stuff is good.
Yeah.
I know that no matter what's going to happen, what kind of day it is or what, I'm going to get a decent experience from this, and I can offer that to everybody else too. So, no, good for you. That's like the ultimate made it.
You made it think,
You made it.
I don't know, I thought that was when I got the Bic lighters with the logo. I was like, oh, I didn't realize this was it. This is how this made me feel. I'm like,
Right?
I did it. I thought it was the stickers, but no, it was the lighter.
I know I did the same thing with the T-shirts, and when I did the another one. When I did the T-shirts, and when I did the pillows, and then I did the from the stash, and yeah.
Yeah. Every time you get a new toy with the thing on it,
It's
you're like,
exciting.
woo!
It's exciting. Look what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Look what I can do.
Yeah.
Look what I can do.
Yeah, it's validation. It's like, see, it's legitimate. We have merchandise.
Yeah. Hear me roar.
Yeah. Hear me roar. I know how to use Alibaba.
Yeah.
That's basically it.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Well, I mean, again, this was nice. I'm glad we did this.
Yeah, it was nice to be able to catch up.
This is good.
I know.
This like pre-roll's like really like done this for us this episode.
It was good.
It
was a good pre-roll. It was really good. It hit me
Yeah.
at the beginning there. I don't normally smoke a joint the whole way down. I typically like smoke it half.
and you're done with it.
Yeah, because my throat will be pooched. So yeah, and not to mention like by the time you get to the bottom, that's where all the juice is. Like that's where all the good stuff of the joint is.
Yeah.
And holy man, it'll bite you.
Yeah,
It'll
this
bite.
one did too, because like I've been like half the time spacing, and I'm like, you are doing stuff. I'm like, I'm supposed to be high. Wait a minute.
Yeah. Love this stuff. I love this stuff.
Yeah.
No, it's lots of fun. It's lots of fun.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, that's what it is. Guys, thank you so much for watching, man. That was a lot of fun. We lost a camera angle, then lost another camera angle, but here we are on this one. We only need one.
We
Right?
only need one.
We
We
only
need to
need
keep
one.
you entertained from like this way. Entertained. Entertained.
Guys, thanks for watching. We'll be here next week. Don't forget you can follow us at Highly Motivated Productions on Instagram. Links will be below as always. But I'm Pigeons. That's Chris. We'll see you next week. Peace.